Boom, here's me. Well, welcome to the episode of Lion and Truth. I'm going to introduce you. We got a surprise. I don't even know if you're ready for this, but in the house, national fucking icon here in Fresno, California, Ethan Tough Tits Wallen.
How's it going?
And Chris Cruz Comedy.
Cruz, the boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, we got a good little story here. We're going to jump right into it. In case you guys haven't seen yet, today, or no, it was last night at an open mic,
night.
It seemed like you had a little altercation with a heckler, huh, bud?
You know,
Tell us
man.
about it, man. We're itching to know, man. I'm dying to hear this story, man. Let us know.
Yeah, I'll start out like this, just to preface. Should have never got to that point.
Yeah.
Any comedian knows it should never get to that point. That was 100% my fault. And, like, that guy, I mean, still an asshole for doing that shit. Like, throwing a light at me, that's assault with a deadly weapon, bitch. If I could fucking sue you, I would. I need some money. That's the only reason why.
So, with that said, let's just go right into it. Let's watch it once.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
Here we go. So, there's you right there, bud. Right?
So, but before you hit, well, let's watch it once, yeah, and then we'll ask questions after.
So, you won't put the words out there so we won't get bleeped.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you can do the lip syncing. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a light.
I called him an F word.
Yeah.
He didn't like. I called him some fighting words. Understandable. Yeah. Hey, look at all the boys that got my back, though. Everybody got my back. That's the thing that was awesome, honestly. But yeah. Hey, look at that punch. I dodged that punch and broke it with my elbow right there.
Boom, right there. When the glasses shot off, and you're like, what happened?
No, okay, so when the light hit me, okay, if you look at it, there's another perspective. Shout out to Eric Lopez. He recorded it as well. Yeah. He got another angle of just the front.
I got that
So,
one.
yeah, I was like, I say the joke because he was booing me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I guess he's scared of ghosts. And then I call him a cigarette in French.
Yeah.
If you know what that is. Yeah.
I've heard of it
A hard
before.
F.
Yeah, a hard F. A hard F.
And you landed the
Yeah.
ET on it.
That's
a brutal one.
Yeah, that's a brutal one. That's a brutal one. Those are fighting words.
Well,
and I
not soft
understand.
A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so after I said that, I looked down at my notebook to see my next joke. And when I was looking down at my notebook, I looked back up, and he was right at the stage. And I see the light, and I'm like, I think he's gonna throw the light at me. And then he threw it. It hit me right in the throat right here. And it felt like a fucking frog was in my throat for the rest of the night. It fucking sucked. Yeah,
So
it fucking sucked.
He got you clean.
Yeah,
with
he
that.
got me clean with that. And then he came up on stage. He jumped up on stage. Little man had little man syndrome. I was looking down on him. He tried to punch up at me. I broke it with my elbow. You know, did that little nice spin move. I run back to the back of the stage. I see. Okay, if you look in the video too, as it's going, like there's a guy in the back. As Vince is the guy with the hoodie right there.
Yeah.
As he gets up, you see a guy run onto the stage.
Yeah.
I have no idea who that is, but you know 100% that guy has military experience.
Oh yeah. Look. One, he has a belt on.
Yeah, and look at
Right.
the grip.
A belt, dude.
Yeah.
That's like number one thing,
Wait,
bro.
go back, and go back real quick. Go back where Vince is. Where Vince gets up. Look how aggressive he
one's
throws.
Vince?
Vince is the guy who's right there in front of the
who's
camera right
blocking
now.
the screen.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
blocking the camera. Look how aggressively he throws down that stool for me.
Yeah, he's like, I'm
Yeah.
getting some.
Yeah, he's like,
Okay.
fuck that stool.
Yeah.
Fuck that
All right.
stool.
So first question that just jumps out is when he gets pulled off and they take him out, does anything happen to him or do they just throw him out?
So he leaves everybody, like, he had
Does the show continue going or is it just like it's chaos?
I got kicked out as well, so I'm not 100% sure what happened, but I called my friend later and he told me that they took a break for a couple minutes. They set everything back up.
Yeah.
The light was broken that hit me.
That was a good light.
That was a guy, dude. I'm
I'm a gear nut, so
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, dude, that was a cool light.
and when I got home, the first thing I did was I texted Dave Apkarian and I apologized for everything that I did.
Yeah.
And I just like, dude, I felt so bad after that, man.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a hard play because
It
like,
really is.
when it comes to heckling, like one, you are there to handle it, but at one point, the venue's there to handle it too, right?
No, real.
Exactly.
You know?
So I was trying to break this down and really analyze what went down, and I have a pretty good idea of what went down because this is pretty much broken down into three aspects. For one, the heckler makes a mistake because under no circumstance is it okay to get up and put your hands on somebody.
No.
You know what I'm saying? That
100%.
he broke that line. You know what I mean? Another aspect of it is when you have a crowd that's cultured, when you have an expectation that is set, hey, this is a comedy show. Respect the process. Don't, you're here to listen and that's it. If that expectation is not set, how can we then hold our audience accountable,
Yeah,
and then
I agree.
a big portion is it's the comedian's responsibility to command the audience so that they don't get unruly.
Yeah, see,
if your
there you
jokes
go.
are smacking, if you're not pushing any boundaries, if you're doing a good job, then you're never going to have an issue with the heckler getting up and getting unruly if you're killing it. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So those three things are really how just infrastructure failure like this happens. And, I'm happy that when you first came on, you said that you were apologetic about, going, because you never want to drop a slur.
No,
on
for
screen,
real, dude. For
like
real,
that's-
man. I know.
Talking about life happening fast. I was in the front room, and the wife and I were like, "Hey, you ready to go to bed?" I'm like, "Okay." And I put the phone down. I go in the back, and all of a sudden, Chris is all, he's all, "Dude, we need to talk about Joe Rogan." And then also, a comic got rushed. I'm all, "Comic got rushed?" He's all, "Yeah." I'm like, in town. I'm like, and I see the picture. He didn't even show your head, but from like the bottom, I'm like, "Oh, that's Ethan." I'm like, that dude's really fucking kind and nice. Like, how did that shit happen?
Well, I'm also gonna preface this by like, I also haven't been having the best couple days. So I mean, I'm pretty sure he also wasn't having the best couple days.
Yeah.
So it was both people not having great days. They both intersected at the same time, and it was just a bad experience for everybody.
So we talked about what happened during and after, but what's really important is the lead up to it. What order were you in the set?
Ooh, man.
How did the comics do before you?
That's a
was
great
this
question.
Guy heckling? Was this an escalating bit?
So-
Talk to us about the
yeah,
night.
that's a
before
great
the
question.
fight.
Do you know what? I'll walk you through from when I got there.
Okay.
All right.
And do your best to
Yeah.
just give non-biased, give us facts. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no, I got you. I'm 100% trying to be non-biased and stuff. So this is, from what I remember, this is what I remember. So I walk into the venue. I walk in a full circle. I say hi to Dave. And because he told me that we go there and sign up our names because he usually sends out an email list of like where you can go and stuff.
Yeah, a digital sign
Yeah.
up. So that was not the case this week.
Yeah, and that was not the case this week. So I get there and I'm like, "Oh, what? I didn't get the email." And so he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. How about this? Since you didn't get the email, how about I put you 6th? I'll put you after Isaiah, and I'll give you 10 minutes so you can work your stuff out. Cause I know.
What a
I know.
gracious
Dude,
host.
I
Wow.
know. I feel so bad. I feel so bad. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. Like, I love Dave with a passion, and I put him into this precarious situation. It does not feel good whatsoever.
Okay.
And I mean, he sent me a long, gracious text of everything that happens and everything that's going to go on about like all this stuff. I won't reveal it.
So you get there, he gives you the 6 minutes, the 6th slot after Isaiah, 10 minutes.
10
Isaiah,
minutes.
which
Exactly,
is
man.
great. So the way
Yeah.
I'm visualizing this, Isaiah is going to lift the crowd up. How can you?
Well, okay.
How could this happen after?
Yeah, no, I mean, he wasn't. Isaiah always does great. Always does great. Never bombs ever. You know, it's just the crowd, and I don't feel like they were all 100% into the night. If you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
I mean, there were some people that I wasn't in there the whole time because I went outside to go talk to Eric for a minute. But here, let me go back into the story. So I sit down and I'm talking to my friends, and I see the people walk in. They seem nice. It was 2 women and a man. They get a couple drinks. They're sitting down. They're drinking and stuff. The guy, I think he had like 3 or 4 beers or something like that. Like as the show started, he got there like as I did. So I sit down. He gets there, gets beers, starts drinking.
And this is the same guy that eventually
like
you
gets
get
up
to
on
the
stage.
venue, and he's already 4 drinks in.
And you gotta
Yeah.
understand, this is a first weekend without football crowd. These people do not
that's
know how to
true.
socialize, you know. So the TV's often they're fucking off the leash, going out and like watching comedy, you know.
That's true.
I was
Yeah, the Pro Bowl doesn't count.
No.
It was on, but
that was the weakest sauce.
watches
So
that? Who
continue.
watches the Pro
So
Bowl? Come on.
The people are liquored up.
Yeah, so there. I mean, I don't know if he was 100% liquored up. That's just what I saw. And so, talking to my friends, talking to everybody, everybody gets there. Show starts. Show starts, and I hear them automatically just start talking.
They're not listening.
They're not
being
listening, dude. They're not listening. They're just inside, just like just talking to each other and like just like on their phones and stuff. You know,
I hate that.
And yeah, and I hate that personally. I personally hate that. And so, you know, keeps going on. I don't pay any mind to it. And then I think it was like during Isaiah's set or something like that, they say something and then like they get into the show a little bit, you know? But then I don't know, he says something else and I think Isaiah kind of ripped up on him a little bit. I'm not 100% sure what happened.
In front of two girls?
Yeah, in front of two girls. As you should and stuff. Yeah.
You got to fucking do that.
Yeah.
If you're going to enter the circle, we're throwing dodgeballs at you.
We're in control. We're the comedians.
And so it was like, I think it was like I think it was Vince. No, it wasn't Vince. I think it was Addie. I don't remember the list in order, but it was Addie, and then I went to go outside to go see Eric because he just got there. Saying hi to Eric, we're chopping it up and stuff like that. And then Eric's like, "Oh, I think I'm next. I'm gonna go inside." He checks out, and then we're just watching the show. And then I hear these guys. I hear them talking and stuff. Isaiah gets up. They do all that stuff. And then Dave comes up to me. He's like, "You're next." So I go up there and I look at my set. And in my set, I rearranged my jokes. Because, like, I watched this thing on, Ralphie May did this master class about how you should, like, sometimes you just change up your set to be like.
What's he up to?
Yeah.
What's he? Come on, man.
Sorry, that was a.
It's okay.
That was a Mark Norman.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's comedy.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's good though. That mixes up the muscles. That
it really does. And
makes
so
you quick on your feet. That's
so
good.
I have this Arnold joke where I do an Arnold joke where he has an illegitimate son, and then I do like an impression of him, and then after that I do what he looks like when he's fucking, because like Arnold Schwarzenegger, it sounds not that great, you know. So I was like, what if he like, you know, wears blackface being chained up while like, you know, acting like a slave? I thought that was a joke.
Oh Lord.
But and then I preface that, I'm like, I'm not racist. I own a color TV. I understand. Trust me. I understand. I understand how that doesn't sound great. I'm just trying out stuff, okay? I'm just trying out stuff. I understand it doesn't sound that great. I'm a starting comedian, okay?
Right,
So but I mean, I tried that one first instead of the Arnold illegitimate son. So yeah, you can kind of see where that goes. Yeah, you can kind of see where that goes. Yeah.
So what's going on there is that joke is very, you know, on
it's
the line
edgy.
offensive.
It's very edgy. Yeah.
And you know, when you open with a joke like that, the crowd just really isn't
exactly.
right
People
and
like
so,
to draw lines nowadays.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's
So
what I
if
learned.
they can draw, you think you're going to draw a line where you're on the same side, or, oh, fuck, we're not on the same side here.
And
Right?
I'm telling you,
it's
man.
The responsibility of the artist on stage to weave the line correctly.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
And you're able to understand that, hey, I wouldn't have gone up. I tried going first with this joke, but that obviously wasn't the right way.
And it's obviously it's an open mic, so we're just trying stuff.
Precisely.
Yeah. So I mean, like and during my set, like in the middle of it, from what I remember, I said, "Hey, can you guys just like be quiet real quick?" Like, and I said something about that, and then I went on with my set. And then I get to the end of my set where like I try to get to my last joke, and I'm going through my last joke, and they were just nonstop talking, and then that's when the clip starts. Like they were so loud. They were so loud. It was just.
And that's when they booed you?
Yeah, well, it was just obnoxious. So, like, there was a little bit before this.
Is there audio on this, or is it just video?
Let's see here. I could probably. That comes from here. Let me add that here.
And hey, if you put the audio, I'll like
Trigger
say
warning.
Yeah, trigger warning.
I mean, if we can, let's not.
Yeah, I'll say something over. I'll say something over it.
Yeah, we'll just.
Yeah.
Or, I mean,
righteous.
No, the audio isn't that important.
Yeah.
Because what I'm trying to dissect here is the escalation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It sounded like they were there for the wrong reasons.
I agree.
They weren't coached. At some point, when a crowd is disruptive, and I don't. You said it best, Reuben, man. It's on the responsibility of the production, the venue, like.
Yeah.
We have to be the ones to be like, hey, put your phone down, no recording, no talking, no XYZ.
That's
Can
true.
you move it out? And if that goes on unpunished, now these audience members think like, well, this well, I've been here for 40 minutes talking and nobody's told me anything. So why do you have a problem with it now? No, now I'm mad and I'm more drunk. So
Agreed.
The responsibility is like a 60-40. The place is 60 and 40 to the person on stage, not to obviously incite a riot. You know what I mean? But then also, but mainly it's the venue, and like you're saying. But like you were saying, longer they're there and not getting checked, it was like their power source kept building and building and building, and eventually
I've seen it happen a million times.
they own the place.
I bet you have, man.
No one told me to shut up yet. I guess what I'm saying is cool. I'm funny.
Yeah.
I'm part of the fucking show.
And when I told him to like, can you just like be quiet a little bit, or just like, I told him, I'm just gonna be honest. I told him to shut up. To be like, just being real. I told him to shut up once, and they were just like, they just kept going. And so the girls went on their phone, and I was cool with that. But then they went back into the show, and they were like, I don't know. I think the boyfriend was saying something, and like, there's a light in my face. I can't see shit.
Yeah, is that light really like right there?
Yeah,
light's not meant for that.
Yeah, that light.
That'll blind you.
Yeah, and like it's like it was right here, so it's like right here, and like
it's one of these lights.
Yeah, it's one of these lights, exactly. And it was just like right in my eyes, so I couldn't see anything until he like got up there.
Well, lucky for you that nowadays those lights are not incandescents; they're LEDs. So it's very safe for you. Also, you got smacked by an LED light. If it was an incandescent light, shit would have got down.
Yeah, it's true.
You've been electrocuted like fucking Back to the Future and shit.
Yeah, man.
Lucky for him, you're not serious about, pressing charges. I don't know what the seriousness of something like this is, but you were completely defenseless. You had no idea.
Yeah,
that's he could press charge 100%.
If that was a more accurate shot, a more forceful shot, that could have caused some real damage.
Well, he got me right underneath the Adam's apple right here, and I feel it real bad today. Like, it hurts every time I swallow, and like,
there goes my second
there was
idea.
there was some metal that got me on the jaw too, and it kind of like, I don't know, my jaw a little hurts, but besides that, we're all 100% okay. I mean, I hope that he's learned from that. And I hope that the girls that were with him saw what kind of person he was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, that's 100%. Nobody's on the side of a heckler who gets unruly on the stage. And I'm just really happy that you're able to. I mean, we want to hear it, obviously, but you're aware that going that far, saying that slur is just not acceptable.
That's not what I want to be known as a comedian, as somebody who like fights the crowd. You know?
Originally when you hit me up the other day about doing this one, you said something about like when you talk about Joe Rogan and this. Well, Joe Rogan, he made a post yesterday that kind of like touches what you said. Was he was using sometimes the N-word, and he would use it in a context. Like Richard Pryor said it, and so he'd use it in a context. He says, now that I'm where I'm at, I don't think it's even okay to use it in the context. And you're a young kid. You know what I mean? You're growing, and there's probably people you haven't even met in your life yet to understand how different people act or what's appropriate a lot of times.
I've barely been out of Fresno.
I'm only 45, 46, and I'm still growing. I'm still hella stupid. So Joe Rogan made a point where like, and everybody, not really talk. I don't believe in cancel culture. But I believe in accountability. But then when someone is accountable for their actions and saying, hey, sorry, I messed it up. Matter of fact, I took all 70 of those fucking podcasts down. He took 70 podcasts down, and he made a 10-minute statement. You know what I mean? So, like, when I said, when he showed me the post, I'm like, Heathen? The nicest guy? Who's going after him? You know what I mean?
I feel that. I also was like, I don't know, man. It's a bad situation.
It's a bad situation. I mean, I'm not the best at handling heckler. And the thing about the Joe Rogan, that ties so well with this because what they did was they were going after him for saying the N-word, period. Yeah. And then, they were saying, well, he's referencing Richard Pryor. He's referencing. And then they started really sinking their teeth on the comment he made about watching the Planet of the Apes in a black neighborhood and how cool it was because when he left, it felt like he was there. Yeah. And then that's where everyone's sinking their teeth. And if you read that, wow, shocking. But then if you really dissect what's going on, it's a comedian attempting to write a joke.
Exactly. And I 100%.
And you can see when he explains it, he's like, that was fucked up. He says, when I watch it, it's the most horrendous thing I've ever seen. There's never like, well, it was in context, or why you guys coming after me? He is owning 100% responsibility. Absolutely. Did you see David Point? You know what happened last night?
What happened last night?
So Dave came out and said, hey, they're kind of walking through the same footsteps of what they try to do to cancel me. You know, the first they try to go after misogyny and then sexual harassment.
Who's Dave Pointner?
He's Pointner. He's the guy who owns Barstool Sports.
Oh, man.
Ugh.
I
Yeah,
fucking
no, you're
hate
good.
that guy, dude.
Dude, so check this out.
You don't like the pizza reviews, huh?
Well, so
I don't like the rape. All right?
well, they
I
start.
could do without the sexual.
Well,
I
he
give
came out
that
with
a
a text
0 out of
message
10.
for that girl, and the girl's, you know, it was something that she was into at the time. I don't know. I'm not getting deep dive with that. But he was saying about this part with Joe Rogan was, he says the people that put out those videos, like to put it together, and then are all tied to the same Twitter, and it's like a group. So he's saying, hey, these people aren't actually going after him because this group is mad at race. He's like, I don't agree. He's like, I've never been on Rogan. I'm not friends with Rogan. But you guys aren't going after Rogan because you don't like his racism. He says, matter of fact, because he was talking to these three guys, they're called, what was their fucking called? Minus Touch, or the Minus Brothers. It's a podcast. 3 douchebags, okay? And they're left wing, and they try to cancel people, and they go out on Twitter and they go after people. That's what they do. They're fucking terrible people.
Right.
And they attach themselves to other Twitter and other accounts. So Dave said, you guys only go after Rogan because he's political, not because you feel about racism. They're like, no, that's not true. He says, well, I have proof that one of you guys uses the N-word in a text message right now. They're like, you're lying. He's all, which one of you guys is married to, or your fiance's Lexi? They're all, it's him. He's all, I had the text messages in 2014 where you're using an N-word in casual conversation. I would never use it in private. He said, I used it when I sing a song or, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, but never like just my bros, like I am dropping the N-word. And then the show kind of like went, so there's a big political move to push these people. It's not right what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
what he
picking
said.
up what you're laying down.
Yeah.
I think I saw someone was telling me that they're picking the points of these articles that are popping up that are attacking Joe Rogan, and it seems more like a campaign and less like an organic, like, hey,
100%.
like this was like a hidden witch hunt.
Yeah.
That where the people are kind of maliciously trying to find a way to. And Andrew Schultz has a really good comment on it. How
He's the
there's-
one.
Yeah, he was saying like that, quantified to its simplest form, just, hey, this guy is a free thinker, and they don't like that. They're trying to shut him up.
You want to hear something crazy, though? I learned also is, you know who released that video of him dropping the N-word?
Who's that?
Alex Jones. I guess him and Alex Jones had a falling out, and he posted it on InfoWars.
Are you serious?
Damn,
Dude,
son.
yeah. So like, when you hear that, it's like,
What?
oh,
That's bad.
That's horrible.
Yeah, they always eat their own. I was talking about this before. They always eat their own.
That
Eventually, it's
rat,
like,
dude.
yeah.
Dude, Joe Rogan was so nice to him
Oh,
for
he's
so
his best
long,
bro.
man.
Hey, and then the knife comes out, stabs you right in the back, dog.
Man, you need a story. You got to keep on making
I'm
headlines,
telling
right?
you, man. I'm telling
Fuck.
you. It sucks.
That's horrible, man.
So,
Yeah.
so how you guys feel, huh? That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
That's good, man. But I just really quick for Ethan, man, just because you did ask this before, we were talking about different tactics to handle a heckler. Now, I'm not the best. I'm not the authority. This is just some things that I know.
And I
that
also have
work.
another question after that. Yeah.
Okay, I'll 100% answer that. So for sure, de-escalating. But let's say we're not able to take preventative measures. Let's say we're not able to control those controllables. We just show up in your situation. We're just walking into a losing situation. The audience member has already completely lost. For one thing that's very important to just have in your heart is that these mics in this time really isn't that important. There's going to be another mic coming, you know. A lot of times they'll just be like, God, no, but I wanted to, I had my friends here. Like, at some point, being chill on stage, Pete Davidson is winning right now. You know what I'm saying? Being chill about things always wins. So if you have a scenario where this audience member is out of control and unruly, you kind of want to ride their wave. Like, oh, you're chaotic and you're talking about, well, let's dig your own grave, sir. Tell me,
Yeah,
what do you want to
dude.
talk about?
Yeah.
And he's drunk, so he doesn't know not to say things that are going to make himself look bad. Like, sir, what do you do for work? Oh, I'm a teacher. Oh, yeah? And then you just go off of that. You know, like, whatever he says, just use it against him.
That's
And
great advice.
The beauty of it is no other audience member likes a heckler. So
Yeah.
if you say anything about him, they're going to just jump like, yeah,
Yeah.
screw that guy. Like, this guy's hair is funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Woo! Like, because they hate the guy already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So-
no, 100%.
and then if you can get on his level, like, what do you want to talk? Let's talk. And then you kind of start using his words against him. He's going to start to realize, hey, I don't like this. I'm losing. And he's either going to tuck away or, worst case scenario, he's too drunk and he just keeps getting more and more belligerent. At that point, you kind of really have to read the room and just, like, kind of go with it. Hit him. use their words against them. A mistake that comics sometimes make, newer comics, is when you're dealing with a heckler, you don't repeat what they say. You gotta repeat what they say.
No,
The crowd needs to hear what they said, because if they did, they would realize this guy is an idiot. You're from Oklahoma, he says. He's in the crowd, and you respond like, "How am I from Oklahoma?" The audience only hears your response. They're not going to hear. So if you reply, "You're from Oklahoma," is that what he said? Is that, and you repeat it? Now you have time to think of a comeback. It's just a little. All you need is a second, and now you can say something, to the effect of whatever, anything that can counter that. But if they talk to you, they don't have a microphone, so you repeat what they say to get the crowd on your side. So when you repeat what they say and you have your comeback, the crowd has the setup and the punchline.
Yeah.
You give them the punchline without the setup, it's not going to hit as hard. They want to laugh. They want
That's
to bury
true. They
that
want
guy.
to break that tension.
For sure.
That's very true.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's the best piece of advice I can give in one of those scenarios where a crowd just won't shut up, and you did the right thing by the one thing I saw that you did was you understood that he was going to be an issue. You saw that he was drinking, he was heckling other people, and at that point, you kind of just want to anticipate that this guy's going to go a little crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it really was just that opening joke that kind of set the crowd like,
It wasn't my opening joke. It's like closer to the end. It was like I was trying a newer thing.
Oh, you didn't open with the
with that Arnold thing?
I thought you did.
No, dude. No.
This guy's a maniac.
I'm just getting up on there, just being like, "Yeah, what's with Arnold wearing blackface?" No.
What'd you open?
Okay. So I go up there and I look silly. I always have this duck thing on me. Yeah, exactly. So I go up there and I take a couple seconds. I go, "Yes, I am a male stripper." And then I go a couple more seconds. No, I don't make a lot of money. And then I go into, I don't want to do the whole bit, but yeah.
You don't got to do the bit. I get it. Nah, that's cool. But
I think, you're saying kind of like one thing you kind of like almost like a cop handles. If you're combative, it's going to be an altercation. But if you like almost like patronizing, or like playing with them, they're going to run out of steam because it's not their show. And every time you watch a heckler, they only got like 10 words. And after about 10 words, they'll just be like, it's my birthday. Like fucking, yeah, you ran out. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
happy birthday.
Yeah.
Okay.
But and it's not always, cake and ice cream, man, because sometimes you do everything right and it's just something that just can't be handled.
Yeah, man. And if I could be honest, I mean, I've dealt with hecklers before. That was just the wrong way to handle it, and I learned from that. Taking a lamp to the throat, I learned a good lesson. I learned a very good lesson.
Mike Tyson says everybody has a plan to get punched in the face, right?
Yeah, I'm not invulnerable.
No.
And so like, my words really do affect some people very different. So
and ultimately, you really can't put a limit on how someone is affected by something.
Yeah,
so
man.
there is a chance that people, this can get a little heated, and there could be people that are really offended by it, and just try and have because I think a few of us out there in the community have been canceled on the internet. I've been through it where a lot of people are coming after me for something I did, and it's chaotic, man. So you're a good person. You messed up.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
I just
that night the set was over, you got the light.
Yeah, man. Dude, if you hear on stage, Dave comes up to me, he's like, "You're done." And I'm like, my soul got crushed. And I was like, "Okay, sorry, Dad."
That guy could be a club owner. Who knows?
For real,
Real
man.
aggressive.
I know.
you're done.
Yeah, you're done.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
That's funny, man. So they banned you from the club?
Yeah, I think so. He said he's gonna go talk to some people and he's gonna see, but I'm pretty sure I am.
Okay.
There's
Well,
probably a couple
I'm
policies
86,
they
take
have.
it on the chin, man.
I
Walk
know.
it off,
Yeah.
That's what
brother.
I'm saying,
Old
man.
Adam's
I'm
apple.
doing stand up
Fight, man.
tonight, so I mean, it's not stopping me.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
all
man.
we can ask.
Everything builds content.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
100%.
Some good, some bad.
Yeah.
Right. Just you had a question for me, brother?
Yeah, man. I was gonna ask you. So, you had I heard an incident where you had the same thing in like 09, 06, something like that. same sort of incident. How would one bounce back in like the comedy community? You know.
What did I do? What the fuck?
Yeah,
I have no
man.
idea.
We're
Like I got
canceling him
told
right now?
I got told that like no. I'm not trying to be like so Chris.
Yeah.
You did this.
Your opinions on transgenders.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be like that. No. I just I got a message from somebody today. I won't say who it's from because I don't want to shoot the messenger. But like it's not bad. I'm curious because he said he had the same situation. He's like maybe you could ask him like how he went through it. That's this word for word what he said.
In 2009. Okay, well,
so-
I don't know who it was, so I don't know what the reference
Well,
is.
let me put it like this. Have you ever have somebody rest the stage?
Yes, okay. Okay. I thought you were talking about fucking getting
No, not like canceled or anything like that.
No.
I worded that bad. I'm
You're thinking of
23
all
years
the bad
old.
things you've
Like,
said.
who would know that?
Like,
That's
who
a very
knows?
secret.
Yeah,
private
I'm 23 years old. My brain's still developing. Okay, I
No,
smoke
I
too much
get
weed.
it.
Okay, sure. Okay, the heckler that rushed the stage, and that was a scenario that because there's two types. There's two ways that it could go when a heckler opens his mouth and says something about you. If you're killing it, and he says something, the crowd's gonna look at him and be like, "Dude, shut up! What are you talking about?" If you're bombing and he says something accurate,
Oh yeah.
The
The
line
crowd-
was drawn. He won him.
the crowd's gonna look at you like, "Well, what do you got, funny
Step your
man?" You know
game
what I'm
up.
saying? So in 2009, it was a scenario where the crowd was completely on my side, and a heckler was just going crazy. She was yelling at me, and I bopped her with something dumb. I just said, "All right, late." I don't know. I said something stupid. The crowd laughed, and she shut up. So what ended up happening on this night was I had this bit where I close my eyes and I look up and I'm like, and in that moment the crowd's getting really amped and she runs on stage and puts her head in my crotch.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
she puts
yeah.
her head in my crotch, and I don't know what happened because I'm just looking up and doing the joke, and then I hear the crowd just woof, and I'm just like, whoa, the crowd doesn't laugh like this at this part of the joke. Whoa, and then she's just there on her knees with her head in my crotch, and the crowd is peak drunk at this point. This bar was serving beers with shots in them. You know what I'm saying? That was an option. You could order that. Everyone
man.
was just twisted, and the crowd's like, whoop, they're just flipping out like, I can't believe-" and then she thinks they're cheering for her, which in part they kind of are,
Yeah.
having the balls to get up there. So she looks at me and she's like, "What's
Whip it
up?
out.
What's up?
I'm in control. What's up?" And I'm just kind of like, "All right, lady, get off." Now I was in the middle of telling a joke about a sex move where I do a standing 69, and at the climax where I come, I do a tombstone simultaneous, and that's the joke. And that was, I had said it for like 4 weeks, so the crowd was wanting it. This was like, I was my first time headlining at the Thai Palms Club, and they were just like, they wanted to hear it. So I was setting the joke up when she did that, and she's looking at me like, "What's up?" So I'm like, "Do you want to try the sex move? Like, is that what you?" She's like, "Tell me what you want, what you really, really want."
Oh my
the
God.
The crowd is like, "No way!" I have this on film. Yeah, they're cheering. 'Cause
I saw that today. matter of fact.
She's been
I need to see this.
heckling the whole night, so the crowd hated her. And so when I'm like, "Do you want to do the tombstone?" and she's like, "Yeah, well, tell me what you want." They know what the tombstone is, and they're just like, "Do it, tombstone her." And you know, even in 2009, I was big on consent. You know, so I had to ask her again. I'm like, "Are you sure you want to try the tombstone? Do you want to try the tombstone? Do you want to try the sex move?" And she's like, "I want to know what you want, what I really, really want." And then I looked at her husband, and I'm like, "Hey, is this okay? Can I do this?"
Can I
And
cuck
he
her?
looks at me. He's like, "Yeah, go ahead. And I'm like, "Okay."
Make sure all the boxes are checked.
That's 3.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm like, "Let's go." And I lift her up. I get her in my tombstone position. And luckily for me, my buddy was been recording, and she held the mic so you could hear her scream as I held her upside down. And she's just like, oh, boom. And I tombstone her. But I mean, wrestling with cousins, you know how to not damage someone.
Yes, exactly.
Her head softly tapped the fat of my thighs.
Mm-hmm.
That must have been the softest pillow she's ever felt. You know what I'm saying? So she hits that, and I lightly bring her down. The crowd explodes. It pops like I've never. Been the highlight of my career to this day. I've never felt anything like that, man. Because she gets up, she's with it. She's like, "You're hot, honey." Like she's She's fine. I'm fine.
2 Coors Light fly, you catch them.
Dude, and I get off stage, and the owner, he just come with me. Like he just like breaks through the crowd and he's like, "Come with me, sir." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm out of here, dude. This is done." And he takes me behind the bar and he has like 3 shots ready.
Oh my God.
And he's like, "Hey, cheers. You're one funny motherfucker, dude." And I'm like, and we all take it. And I'm like, "Wow." And then I go outside. And it was like, you know, the Matrix when the Sentinels, they all form that like
yes,
fish, like school of fish.
Yes.
The crowd just swarmed me, man.
Oh my God.
And I didn't know how to handle it. I was 6 months in at the time. And Ty Palms was right next to a GB3.
Yeah.
And the main promoter, Aaron Stewart, was this big buff, you know, Kurt Angle, muscular looking guy. And all these beautiful women were always there. So I'm surrounded by these beautiful women. And they don't even know why they're there. Like we're all kind of looking at each other like, what did we just witness? What happened? We just saw a near murder because they didn't know. They didn't know that they thought I actually tombstoned. They're like, Jesus Christ!
They saw a WWE wrestling match on stage.
Yeah, so that was a weird night, man.
Yeah, I bet, man. I mean, I don't think you did anything bad that time. So fuck, I got some false information there.
No, that was. But dude, there's that's a win and a loss, dude. There was a time where there was a heckler, and I completely lost control of my emotions, of my anger.
Yeah,
of my
tell me about that.
body.
I'm curious about that.
Dude, he was talking, and I got him, and the crowd was with me. And then he would keep talking, and I got him, and the crowd was with me. I did it like 4 times, and at one point, I'm just like, "Shut up! Shut up!"
I was taking that approach. Yeah.
I was young. I was like 25. You know, what I'm saying? Still old enough to not do that, but I lost it. I was like, "Shut up! Shut up!" It was to the point where the crowd was just. Oh,
uncomfortable,
This man has lost his mind on stage. Okay, and then
fucking snapped.
Yeah, so dude, there's wins and there's losses, man. I've had way more gnarly, you know, losses on that front.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? You just
That's comedy, I guess.
Hey, but you're not a real comedian until you get booed off stage. You know what I'm saying? That's
fair enough.
Somebody told me that. I don't know who it was, but I've been booed off stage, so it's coming for you all, motherfuckers.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, I've been punched off stage, so that's next. That's next.
Hell yeah, moving up in the world, huh?
For real, man.
Yeah,
for
people
real.
are getting aggressive. We were just telling him too. Also, at Did Chico's, we had an unruly person.
Oh yeah, man.
Tell us about that, man.
There's a guy on the back that said they had 3 black comments on.
This was Friday. This past Friday. So your thing happened last night, Sunday, and we're talking about an event this
Friday. Yeah,
let
3
us
days.
know.
Shit's going down in Fresno.
So I was recording, and the guy brought 2 guests in. There was like 3 black comics, and the white crowd wasn't quite used to 3 people on the road not being white, you know. So one guy's kind of liquored up, and he's like, "That's my N-word," and he actually just said that's the quote. He didn't actually say the N-word.
Oh
and the comic's like, "I heard what you said, but I'm kind of don't speak anymore," you know. And then somebody's talking to a couple up front. And he's telling the girl, "Show us your tits," you know. He's like, "Well, they're a couple, and you're with your wife," you know.
Yeah, man.
Eventually, he gets his way back to the bar. You know, he leaves the crowd, and then I guess he starts mouthing off to the staff. You know, like, "Hey, you better get me a drink right now, bitch." And then they said, "Okay, it's time for you to leave." And they told Danny, "Well, you gonna make me leave?" And he said, "Yeah." So fucking, he pushed him, and he's kind of drunk, and he stumbled. As he stumbled, he hit the double doors and opened them up with his head, and it was like, "Is he gonna pass out right now?" And no, and then his wife yelled, like, almost like he said, "He wears glasses," but she said, "He has a head injury." And everybody's like, "Oh my God." Yeah, and I'm sitting here like on the computer, like recording and shit, like I got all this stuff, you know,
like,
and nobody gets up, and like Danny walks out, and like that's the end.
Gets up?
And like no one gets up. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm getting up, you know. So I get up and I fucking run out there, and now that guy gets up. Yeah, pushes Danny down. When he hits the ground, you know that blazer he always wears? It fucking splits.
No,
like Bruce Banner.
the
Boom,
blazer.
it's fucking gone.
No.
So I grab the guy by his little arms. They're like even,
It's
you know.
little.
They're like 5'2", you know. And I grab him and I pick him up, and he's like looking up at me, and I'm like, "It's time for you to go." And he's like, "Okay." His wife's like, "He's got a head injury. Don't." I'm like, "No one's hit him."
You're like, "Why are you bringing him to a comedy show?"
And is Danny all right?
Danny was perfectly fine. Danny was worked up. Danny wanted to punch him.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
No, this is not the area because the guy's already drunk. And it's just like one fall, and then your life has changed.
Well, first, that guy crossed the line. I mean, that guy made major. He deserved to get thrown out aggressively.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, and when it comes to, I mean, we're all brothers on the front of the stage. You know what I'm saying? So the safety of a comic on stage in the face of a heckler always comes before everything. So I'm happy Danny was able to handle that, man. Yeah. But that is horrible, man. I can't believe that took place, man.
We had actually 3 really unruly people. One girl.
There was more than that.
Yeah, there's 3 people. One girl, she didn't make it through the end of the show. She was so drunk, and like when a guy would say a joke, she would be like during a conversation, really? Why did they fire you? Like that really happened, you know? And finally,
that's the worst. Yeah.
The best was like 20 minutes later when she's getting up and her head's kind of down, her arms are down, and her husband grabs her arm, like not on a wrist or a hand part, but like a control part, and walks her ass out.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, there you
like
go.
It's over.
He's like, you've had enough.
You ain't gonna make it home.
Yeah. Oh
you guys are no longer having sex. The game is over.
Who was the other one?
And then there was another white guy that was right next to me, and he was saying, you know, just comments too. And he had a cowboy hat on. I was like, what the fuck?
God, come on.
Hey, he got the 10 gallons of confidence, right?
Bro, you know.
Oh, my God.
And it's funny because the guys had no racial comic on TV, on stage. None of it was racial at all. It was just straight funny, 3 funny, great guys. But the crowd couldn't take it.
Yeah.
That just made blood rush to my head. So they weren't even like, they were just being funny comics.
Yeah.
And the crowd was still taking it to that level.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
It was crazy.
That sent shivers down my spine.
God.
That's evil.
They showed
That
up
really
almost
is,
like almost like worked up. Like there's like a group of people that are kind of like worked up right now, and for some reason I'd say like the reason why people don't like wearing masks, we're like a read my lips generation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if some people can't read your lips, like, no, motherfucker, I want you to know who's telling you to fuck off, you know? So like that's what it comes down to. But
So I heard banjos in the back.
yeah, I swear, it's like everybody though. That's why we got the signs and bumper stickers. I don't know if you know, but the hat, the shirt, and flag, I voted Trump. You know? Oh, you did?
I don't know if you heard.
No idea. Fucking no idea. You know?
That's crazy.
Man,
Honestly.
that's wild. So a lot of physical activity
In
the
Fresno,
comedy
I
scene in
guess.
Fresno.
Yeah. I was.
I only heard about the physical part. I
crazy.
didn't hear about the other 2 unruly, and the fact that there was another racist audience member in the
And
crowd.
sometimes it gets like that. You know, the Chico crowd is a weird because sometimes you get people from who don't live in Clovis, but then the Clovis crowd, like, they don't like gay jokes. Like, when a gay guy comes in his comedy, it takes like 10 minutes, and then like they're like, oh, he lives with a guy. And, you know, and the crowd kind of changes a little bit. Like, no, these are still funny jokes, motherfucker. These are good shit.
They see a super flamboyant, effeminate man, but until he says it, they're just like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
Hey, they see the dyed hair, they get scared, man.
Yeah.
Clovis,
That's what happens,
I've
man.
been to DeChico's every time I've gone, the crowd has always been phenomenal. So I mean, that's
true.
But I've had crowds myself where I'm just like, why did you come out, man?
Yeah, I know.
Why did you even come to the show? Why just stay? I did a show at the end of December where if these 3 people just weren't there, the whole thing would have been. But they ruined it for everybody because it was such everyone was so attentive that those 3 just kind of. And that's my fault for not handling them. No, but no, I get it, man. Like, if the crowds are crazy, we can't control the crowds.
Yeah, that's true.
We can only control our own actions.
Question: have you guys ever gotten into a fight before?
Because
Because that was like my first fight.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was obvious.
Fight.
Okay, so that's the first time you've ever been
In,
swung
well,
on
like
the face.
without my brothers, you know, without my brothers.
So
and
me,
stuff.
I was like,
Wow.
oh, fucking 300 this bitch, huh? And like, oh, you're going to come on stage? I'm going to fuck you up. Like, I don't like to fight. Like, I don't like to do that. That's not my thing. But like, almost like they're entering the ring. Like, oh, to me, I was like, oh, dude, that guy could just got a fucking boot to the face.
Okay.
You know?
Speaking of
I
that.
probably wouldn't have done any of that.
Okay, speaking of that, okay, I had so many people text me being like, dude, I would have done this if that guy would come up, I would have removed that motherfucker's teeth. I was like, dude, I got hit by a lamp and then I got dazed and I'm like, a couple seconds went by and he's out the door. I'm like, can I throw a punch?
Yeah.
No. And I'm like,
I think what they were saying to you though was, if I was there, I would have helped defend you. Like, I would have
I mean, I got a
slammed
lot of those, and then I also got a lot of, man, if I was there, like 100% that, like, if I was there, I would have knocked that motherfucker out. And I was like, okay, but like,
what hit?
Yeah,
you're like, what happened?
No,
and then
for
he
real.
punches you, and you're like, okay, people are stopping it, and then they take them off, and then like, I like this part right here. You pick your glasses up, you're like, what? Right here goes. Ready? Here he goes. Oh, wait. I want to go fight this guy.
No. I just went, because my phone's right there. I went to go stop the recording. That's why. But the funny thing is like, I imagine.
Like, I'm going down to fight.
Yeah. I think it would have
fighting.
Rewind back to where I get hit by the lamp. I think it would have been so funny if when I get hit by the lamp, I just went, like, imagine if I just went straight down. Like, if I just went straight down, like I could got knocked out. Dude, for real, I just go,
You just
Or
went
fetal
like-
position.
yeah, or like I get hit by it, I start crying. I'm like, why did you hit me?
Mama.
Yo, mama.
Mama.
Man.
That was great.
Yeah,
No,
man.
I don't like to fight personally. So
I don't
like,
either. I'm a very nice.
as
I'm a very nice man.
I'll play 50-50 like devil's advocate, you know, like, oh, I wouldn't have done nothing. Like I said, I was just out in the fight on Friday kind of. I'm like, I could jack this dude up, but all I did was, time for you to go.
Exactly.
Oh man, I'm taking basic Brazilian jiu-jitsu classes, and I'm just waiting
man.
to use anything. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It's making me want to take some boxing classes, some shit like that.
Do it, brother.
Because like, I mean, I should honestly, but like, if you see in the video, I try to get a hit off, but I
Yeah.
completely miss.
Yeah, it
Like
looks
it's
pretty
so
bad.
bad.
It looked like what?
Yeah,
right
like
here.
you go, Dave comes up, and then you see him kind of get me, and then my arm
Right
kind
there,
of
you
gets
kind
like
of
ripped up.
punch right there.
That girl walks out with a puppy.
So hell yeah, I'm making a
Yeah.
move. Everybody grab a 6-pack.
No, shoot, dude. I saw those two. They were wanting to leave so bad.
Yeah, well, fucking I got a
man.
dog in a fucking
Yeah.
bar. How fun can that
Dude,
be?
No,
come,
for
come
real.
through to jiu-jitsu, man, because
Hey,
I feel like
I will.
you were surprised this was your first fight. He rushed you. He literally blindsided
Yeah, I
you.
was flashbanged and then got hit by a
Yeah.
fucking
You know what
metal.
I'm saying? Because you had a clean shot to just knock his fucking.
I also
block
had
off.
my notebook in my hand and I was holding a microphone.
Dude, my buddy said, my buddy Riga, I worked with him. He said the funniest shit when I sent him this. He said, motherfucker threw the expensive ass lamp before he threw that weak ass punch. That shit was hella whack. Look at him. Look at this weak ass punch, though.
It
That's,
is, dude. I break
he
it. I
fucking
break
like,
it. I know. For he's like,
that's a full circle
I
crowd.
know.
right there.
I'm telling you, man.
Watch this. Watch this.
Fucking.
He had a perfect opportunity to get up and throw a punch.
And then, dude, and
it
he
was
tried
like a
to,
rabbit punch.
He tried to hit me a couple more times, and I duck dive and dodged that.
It didn't even phase you.
I know,
You were
for
just
real.
surprised. Like, what was that? Did a
For real.
fly
And
graze
if
me?
if you actually like zoom in, I'm smiling still.
Yeah.
Like I still don't even know what's happening. I'm like, this
Yeah.
guy's crazy.
Do you have the other one where you see the guy run?
Uh,
that one's dramatic.
yeah,
that one
that
you
one-
can see Eric Lopez.
Yeah, Eric got a good one.
Yeah, that one.
You see his girl try to stop him. He fucking linebackers her, just like
Yeah.
fucking bah, bitch. I'm getting this white motherfucker.
Dude, that's why. Because I mean, the anger and rage of the way that he ran at you, I thought that this something else happened. Like, but
No, real man,
just,
and
he was just little man.
Yeah, and he was with 2 girls.
yeah,
You know, and you have to
See,
ride back with these 2
yeah.
girls. That dude just fucking put you down. Where do you go train at?
Yeah, for real, yeah.
Okay, so
Let's get into that.
as far as jiu-jitsu, for sure, Halo Jiu-Jitsu on Gettysburg, and no, it's right there by Blackbeard's. I think they got the best schedule, the cleanest gym. They got really, really strong jiu-jitsu trainers in there, and you can get some striking work done there, jiu-jitsu work done there.
This is funny. You know that, right?
What?
What is that?
Because Angel, I grew up with Angel. He's the host of my other show.
What?
No
Yeah.
shit.
I
Yeah.
had no fucking idea, man.
So you go like Modern Day Warrior. Me and Angel grew up together, so it's right down the street from my house. So
Damn.
we've done shows there. Mason Fowler, all those guys we have on the show all
who's
the time.
Angel?
He's the guy who owns the place.
Oh, okay.
So if I was saying, which one you go to? My buddy owns the Halo Jiu-Jitsu.
Dude, yeah, that is.
He's on tomorrow, matter of fact.
Oh, hey,
Wow. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that. No, he's an amazing, prolific jiu-jitsu black belt, man. One of the best out here. So, I mean, it's right there, man. Let's go. Seriously.
Hey, I'm telling. Yeah, I'm so down. I'm really down.
And then there's another. My buddy Isaac Morales runs Elite Selma, and I've been testing waters out there and wonder. It's all love with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Everyone's just trying to help each other. And the thing is, you get disciplined to the point where it's like you would never even you without touching the guy, you can make him kill himself. You know what I'm saying? You can make him run into a wall. Like that's the awareness that jiu-jitsu gives you. You know what I'm saying?
Question: does it cost money?
All right, so it does cost money, but anything that is worth anything
That's
does.
true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And Angel's an open guy. If you want to come test it out,
Hey,
I'm sure he wouldn't have a problem.
That's
with
true. I mean, I got $300 to my name. I'm down to spend like $50.
How about
I'm
you?
down.
I think probably get you over there on Friday. They have free rolls.
Yeah,
So
I'm
I can
down
get
with
you.
that.
no
Yeah,
problem.
and then Friday, is that also no gi as well?
I don't know what they do. I'll find it tomorrow.
Okay,
But you know, you ever see this guy, James? He's over there at Halo. He's coming in tomorrow. He's a fight here coming up.
Righteous,
I
man.
didn't know that. Yeah, it's cool. I really
That's
do want to
dope.
try that. Yeah, I want
Reuben,
to try that.
hell yeah, man. And for sure, I mean, if I'm off on Friday.
Yeah.
Hey, there
it
you go.
works out.
It was like
works out.
you just did like a free plug for Angel that like worked out to do what we do already. Like
Bro,
I was
hey.
like, that's not a joke. We didn't set that up.
That's the best kind of plug when it's organic.
Yeah.
And nobody paid me to do. I'm just saying that I went there and had a great experience, and I would recommend it for
That's
anybody.
true. 5 stars on Yelp.
Angel's a great guy, and I always talk about one of the main reasons why I chose Angel. Besides, I grew up with him, but when we talk, he always says, man, I got to go. I got to meet my wife. You know, I'm like, so I've probably said before, however you treat your wife, you're going to treat me less than. That's the highest mark you're going to make. So if you treat your wife good, I'm like, oh, sweet, I can get close to that. And then that, if you treat your wife important, I know your relationships are important. I want to do business with you. You know what I mean? Angel's one of those guys. He's got a Harley, too.
He's got a Harley too. So he's he's got a fat one.
Once killed an elk with his bare hands as well. No, I believe it. If you told me anything about that guy, he's a.
Oh, what time is it? I'm down to go. I have to.
We'll figure it out, man. We'll link it up. I mean, I'm sure it's on the website or something like that. But I know for sure they got zombie rolls at 6 every day, and then they got 6 again at night, and then again at like 7 or something like that.
Friday the 11th.
Friday, this coming Friday. Yeah.
Shout out to Mike Wooten. He has a show at the Labyrinth. Yeah.
No, get tickets
on
to
Friday.
That.
Get tickets to that.
19th.
Yeah. 19th.
Marcus Peveril, and then AJ DeMello. Holy shit!
And Alec OB. Alec OB. He's gonna be doing that. Great upcoming comic. He's great. I'm gonna be filming the whole thing.
Oh,
It'll be fantastic.
Okay. Good, man. And the Labyrinth is a sick-ass venue.
It is, man. That's why I'm doing my stand-up special.
Hey, man. Well, I'm plugging my shit. I got a show on the 19th.
I try to do organically, too. He caught me.
At the Mint.
Kyrie Shabazz at the Mint, 19th. That one's going to be sick. They just got their liquor license. That's something we've been missing. So they got their liquor license, and it's going to be. I'm going to put the TVs up. It's going to be a thing of beauty, man. That's my shit. Thank you, guys.
Hell yeah.
For real, man. Hopefully, I'll get to go to the Mint sometime. That'd be
sick.
Come
through, man.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Dude, I'll have you out there, man. Yeah, come. You do a spot, man.
Hey,
one of these nights, man.
Yeah, that'd be sick, man. I'm holding him to that.
Who's known from getting the light?
Yeah, this guy.
That's everyone else gets flashed. I just spear a fucking light.
Just spear a light at you. Fuck
right
yeah, man. That'd be sick.
Well, awesome. Appreciate you guys. That's another great show, huh?
Fuck yeah, man.
So here another episode of Lying in the Truth, and we out.
Thank you.